When things go wrong, I try to make them right.
Never give in, never yield.
You're gonna love this.
You ever been surprised before?
Boom, body shot. Start your free trial now.
We are in Canada's largest city. They call it the Six. Welcome to Toronto. We're at the Budweiser stage. You know, this venue holds about 15,000 people, and they are expecting a near capacity of 15,000 fight-crazed Canadian fans here who are waiting to see two of the biggest names in combat sports, Conor McGregor and Floyd Money Mayweather. Hello, everyone. I'm Brian Custer alongside my Showtime colleague. This is the former two-division world champion, Paulie Malignaggi, and Brandon Schaub, of course, former UFC fighter, now UFC analyst. This is stop 2 of a 4-city global press tour where you have Conor McGregor and Floyd Money Mayweather throwing, let's say, verbal jabs at one another as they promote probably the biggest fight that we've seen in some time, and it all goes down August 26th in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, at the T-Mobile Arena. You can see the fight on Showtime pay-per-view. Floyd Money Mayweather coming out of retirement after nearly 2 years, trying to run his record to an unprecedented 50-0, taking on the notorious one, the biggest name in UFC, Conor McGregor, the only man to hold 2 world titles simultaneously. First stop was in Los Angeles, and I guess I'll come to you here, Brandon. Your first impression when you think about what we saw in stop 1.
It was insane. I've never seen anything like it. And this is just the first stop of the press tour. Imagine August 26th. Imagine that atmosphere. I've been a part of a lot of major sports. Nothing. I've never seen anything like this. It's crazy.
We did Mayweather Pacquiao. Tell me how that press conference, the first stop.
Well, here's the thing.
And
I've been saying this for some time. It's got the same magnitude as Mayweather Pacquiao, possibly even bigger. And I'll tell you why this has the potential to be bigger. Conor McGregor is a massive personality. So he helps sell this fight with his personality in the press conferences. Pacquiao Mayweather press conferences, let's face it, they were kind of a dud. You know what I mean? The fight was always going to sell itself. Those were kind of a dud. These press conferences, they're going to keep raising the ante. I mean, they raised up the ante yesterday. They're going to raise it more today. They're going to raise it more tomorrow in Brooklyn and then finally London. And then we talk about the press conferences. What about the weigh-in? The weigh-in is going to be sick. I mean, the weigh-in is going to be insane. And once you watch the weigh-in, you're going to have everybody wanting to order the pay-per-view the next night.
Well, keep this in mind, folks. When you talk about the first stop in Los Angeles, 11,000 people came out just for the press conference. All the tickets are free. But you know what? There were scalpers actually scalping some of those tickets as high as $40, and people were paying the price for that. People lined out for hours just to get in to see and hear two of the biggest names in combat sports. If this stop, Toronto, is anything like we saw in Los Angeles, this stop will be electric.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you, and indeed we welcome you to Los Angeles for our first stop of our 4-city, 3-country international press tour. It's Mayweather versus McGregor on Showtime pay-per-view.
You know, they said this fight could never be made. They said this fight would never happen. Am I surprised that at age 40, Floyd is coming out of retirement to fight someone who is younger, bigger, stronger than he is? No, not at all. This is Floyd's plan, to do the biggest, most memorable, most exciting, most spectacular events that sports has ever seen. That's what August 26th will be. and that's been the plan all along. What's up, Los Angeles? Ladies and gentlemen, the notorious Conor McGregor!
Baby, we did it! 20,000 people. I'm absolutely honored to be here before you. He is fucked. He's in a fucking tracksuit. He can't even afford a suit anymore. His little legs, his little core, his little head. I'm gonna knock him out inside 4 rounds, mark my words. I'm a young, confident, happy man that has worked extremely hard for this. The movement, the power, the ferociousness. He's not experienced this. I don't fear him. If this was a true fight, it wouldn't even take 1 round. All these rules, all these restrictions, it doesn't faze me, it amuses me. The gloves, they have to be 10 ounce. I'll wear 10 ounces. No gloves made out of horsehair. Okay, no problem. All I need is a gum shield, line me up to the ring, and I'm good to go. So, Floyd has a problem, but doesn't want to come over and deal with it. He wants me to come over his side. That's no problem, I'll do that. That's confidence. Look, let's get this world tour started.
We'd like to welcome Floyd Money Mayweather! Hard work! I don't give a fuck if it's a ring, it's an octagon. Put me in there and I'ma kick ass.
Don't be talking shit. You do give a fuck if it's an octagon.
All work is what? Well, point to the fucking easy work then. You line them up and I knock them down like bowling pins. And August 26th, I'ma knock this bitch out too.
I haven't knocked nobody out in about 20 years. Dance for me, boy. Dance for me, son. Dance for me.
Still got 100 million and then he never touched it.
That's to the tax man.
You right. I'm the IRS and I'ma tax your ass.
Not gonna do shit.
Hey, he look good for a 7-figure fighter. He look good for an 8-figure fighter, but I'm a 9-figure fighter. And y'all know what? This bitch made $3 million his last fight. But we know that's training camp money for me. And if you want 8-ounce gloves, let's put 8-ounce gloves on. If you want 4-ounce gloves, let's put 4-ounce gloves on. You can get it right now. You can get it right now. God don't make mistakes. And God only made one thing perfect. And that's my boxing record. Hey, don't we gotta pose the fighters now? Face to face.
Now, after their first stop there, Conor McGregor had intimated that he had believed that Showtime had cut off his mic at some points during the press conference. He couldn't respond to Floyd Mayweather. Well, the head of Showtime Sports, Stephen Espinoza, released a statement, basically, in essence, that said, at no point did Showtime or Event Productions cut the microphone intentionally during Tuesday's kickoff event in Los Angeles. The point of this world tour is to let these guys interact with their fans and with each other. Cutting the mics would go against our goal of delivering these fighters to the masses and letting their charismatic and entertaining personalities take center stage. In essence, what he is saying is, listen, Showtime is responsible for the audio you see on this broadcast. What happens here at the actual event is on the event people themselves. They have no control over that, and they were the ones who were cutting off the mics at that point. But let's get back to what we saw in the first press tour stop. And let's start with some of the key moments. And I thought, to me, one of the most engaging key moments was the actual face-off. When we first saw these guys get the face-off, and listen, at one point, that thing kind of got intense. You guys have both been in it. Brendan, you've been in it. Paulie, you've been in it. So my question is, we take a look here and show you these guys. Listen, is it number one, is he just selling the fight? Are you, number two, trying to get into your opponent's head, or all of the above?
you know, to me, the guy who stole the show, especially early on, was Floyd Mayweather. He went vintage Floyd. He went super vintage Floyd. And if you look back, I haven't seen him kind of turn to this heel in a long, long time. And Conor's bringing it out of him. Because Conor, what he brings to the table is a lot. And it's a lot to deal with. And, you know, listen, I love Conor. Everyone, that's why I'm here. I love Conor. But yesterday, I thought Conor got a little outshined, and I've never seen that personally. And I thought Floyd was, he was on it yesterday. He knew he had to rise to the top, and he did it.
Well, obviously you can see the intensity here in this face-off.
You know what it is, Brian, and as a former older fighter myself, you know, as you get older, meaning when you're young, sometimes you're a big trash talker. You want everybody to see what you're about. You want to get the big cliche lines. You want to be quoted. You want everybody to see you talk, and you want to, you know, just pump your chest out and show yourself. As you get older, then you kind of chill back and lay back, and just you're more about the business, you're more about the money and whatnot. You know, you're not as passionate about all the promotional stuff. You know, Floyd had kind of become that, but sometimes. And I had this with Adrian Broner. Sometimes you get that young guy who has a great trash talking ability, and he brings it out of you, and he brings back your old tricks, and he brings back all the old stuff that you just kept hidden away, and you figured, like, I will pack that up, but that's not necessary anymore. You just bring it right back. And I felt like Conor McGregor did that to Floyd Mayweather yesterday. Conor got up and started talking. He started amping it up. He got things started. I mean, I agree with Brendan. I thought Floyd eventually outshined him. But I can only say that because Conor got the thing to say. He said it all first.
But to that point, Paulie, I thought Floyd had a huge advantage by going second. Because Conor, this is kind of new. This is new waters, uncharted territory. So he comes in here, he kind of gives a speech. He doesn't really know the lay of the land.
That's a good point.
Well, Brendan,
and then Floyd goes and Floyd comes with the heaters. Watch today.
He seemed like, to me, Conor McGregor, like a fish out of water early, because I don't think he expected he had to give a speech. He thought maybe he was just going to come up, they were going to introduce him, maybe face off. That would be it. Like he said, oh, they want us to make a speech.
Yeah.
So he kind of talked about his family, being a father now. That's what motivates me. Talked a little bit of trash. But then all of a sudden, Floyd comes up second and threw the heat.
No, that's the thing. When you're on the A side, you go second.
How dare
the
you?
A side goes second.
How dare
That's
you?
one of the advantages the A side has. They go second throughout the whole promotion. They come in the ring second as well. You always get the last word that way. And it is an advantage, especially when you got two trash talkers. You know, you got the advantage when you go last.
But Conor adapted well, because as it went on, he was like, oh, we're doing this?
Right.
Oh, I can do this.
Yes.
And then in the post-fight press conference with Floyd Sr., he had some great quotes, he had some great lines, and that's where you see a true Conor McGregor in his element. I'm telling you, today, it's a different story.
Yeah.
It's a different story.
It set the battle tone yesterday.
Yes.
Today they're going to come out with the heat.
Oh, we're playing prison rules.
Yeah.
We going prison rules. All right, Floyd. And no one's better in the world than Conor. I'm telling you, see today, he's going to win this one. Undisputed today.
You predicted that yesterday, Brendan. You predicted that yesterday.
Well, hey, me and Conor both got a little off guard there. Yeah.
You know, you've made the point that you felt like Conor is the A side of this fight. And we'll talk the business of boxing aside.
Yeah.
I think a large part because of the fan response. And no matter whether it was Los Angeles or even here in Toronto, it seems like the fans have just gone crazy whenever someone says Conor, so whenever someone says McGregor, they just go crazy. I think, is that what you're saying when you say you feel like he's the A side because of the response?
Yes, and I realize the business side, and on the business side too, to that point, Conor McGregor, you got to realize he's never missed. Any fight he's ever been in has been the biggest UFC event. He's never had an off night. Even when he lost to Nate Diaz, it's one of the biggest fights of all time. Then he came back to revenge that fight. So for Conor, what he brings is the A side. And when you look at this crowd, and we were in Los Angeles yesterday, Toronto tonight, and then tomorrow New York, then it's London. It's only going to get bigger. It's only going to get bigger. He's relevant. He's younger. He's the young lion. Everyone wants to see this guy. Look, they were selling tickets to a press conference, for God's sakes. And also, what guy could Floyd Mayweather possibly fight in the boxing world? A Keith Thurman? I'd love to see that.
They're bigger threats to me, but less promotable.
Yeah.
And that's where money talks. At the end of the day, what you're talking about Conor is the reason this fight gets made. He's a polarizing figure. He's a guy, he steps in the room, all eyes gravitate to him. All the attention gravitates to him.
But why is that, Paulie? Because he's an amazing fighter. People forget he brings that to the table. You got to remember, he's backed it up.
Oh, yeah. Your bottom line always has to be you have to be good at what you're doing.
You got to win.
In this case, it's fighting. You got to be the best fighter. You got to be a winner in order to let all the other intangibles matter. The other intangibles will not matter if you don't win.
And going into what we talked about, how these guys played it out. Early on, as we talked about, Conor McGregor kind of looked like a fish out of water early on. Listen, these things are scheduled. The fighter is supposed to come on at this time. The other fighter comes on at this time. Hey, Conor McGregor just came on the stage early. Walked around, did a little something, looked around, and everyone was like, wait a minute, he's not supposed to be on stage right now.
All of us.
And he did it for quite a while. Kind of went right off script. And then eventually everyone else started to join him on the stage. And then, like you said, he was surprised he had to even give a speech because he wasn't expecting that. But then, as you see him there, that's where he came on the stage, kind of unexpectedly.
Yeah.
He's soaking it in there. He's taking in all the energy of that crowd, too.
Absolutely.
But
that's an ego feeder right there. You're just
I
feeding
agree,
your
that's
ego.
an ego feeder. But even then, he was a fish kind of out of water in that whole situation there. He adapted, and you see, it never shook his confidence. He's never been more confident. Even when Floyd called him out and let's steer off right now, you see him with the belief that this kid has in himself. That's why he's at where he's at. He's not going to be shaken. And I don't think you can say Floyd Mayweather, to me, looked a little bit shaken yesterday. Lips were quivering. Let's be honest here, fellas. Lips were quivering. Showed up.
Brandon,
showed
come
up.
on,
Come
man.
on,
He's
bro.
looking for something.
Brandon.
He's
No,
looking.
I'm not looking.
He's looking for anything.
Brandon.
Come on, Paul.
I'm trying to market the fight, too, but I don't know if Floyd's lips are quivering. I don't know about that.
I thought.
Go back and look at this.
Well, listen, we've got video of it because after Conor spoke, then it was Floyd's turn. He came up, and he went kind of old school, like wrestling.
Man.
He would make a statement, walk away from the mic. Make a statement again, walk away from the mic. And really trying to sell his point, and as you point out, sell this fight.
Anybody that watched the old WWE or WWF wrestlers in the 80s and when I was a kid knows what I'm talking. He's gonna know what I'm talking about here. Remember the old interviews of Mean Gene Okerlund, and he had the microphone, and the wrestler he'd be about to be interviewed was next to him, and the wrestler would pace back and forth, and then the wrestler would yell into the mic or something, like the Macho Man, yeah, Mean Gene, or something like that. Then he'd walk away. Then he'd come back and say something else, and he'd walk away. And it took that WWF, WWE mentality, and I was looking for Floyd doing that yesterday. There's no Mean Gene in the ring. There's no Mean Gene on the podium. But the podium was his Mean Gene. He just kept going back to it, saying something, walking away.
He really embraced it. And you can't write this stuff. If yesterday you told me before, hey, Floyd's going to come in, he's going to steal the show. And now Conor's going to come back, he's going to steal the show. It's a back and forth. If you like ratings, if you want a spectacle, you couldn't call this any better. Hollywood can't write this. You cannot write this.
So, Brendan, you expect to see a more aggressive Conor McGregor right out of the box.
Yes, now he knows what's going on. He knows exactly what Floyd's bringing to the table. He's going to have some burners in his back pocket now, and he's going to be able to drop some lines on him. And he knows exactly how to do it. He's the best in the world at doing it.
He might even bring his own battery-powered microphone so they can't shut down.
He might.
Oh, my God.
He might.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Walk on stage like the Bishop Don Juan here. Let me tell you something. We talked a little bit about this crowd. Listen, this is a venue, this Budweiser stage that holds 15,000. I'm telling you, it is already starting to swell up. I mean, the crowd, electric here in Toronto. Listen, this is an MMA city. They love mixed martial arts in this area here in Canada, especially Toronto. And I'm telling you, you're going to expect the thousands here at the Budweiser stage. Now, I'm kind of curious to see what Floyd Mayweather we see today. We saw the more animated Floyd Mayweather. He was on 10 right out of the box. So do you do that again here in Toronto?
Can he? Can he bring it to another level? Because Conor started off at a 6. I've seen him go to 11. So he has a lot of levels to go.
Well,
yesterday was a tame Conor.
That's the thing. Again, being the A side, he's going to go second. So Conor's going to set the tone. Conor's going to go first. He's going to set the tone. It's going to be up to Floyd to see if he can match it. Yesterday, he was able to match it and surpass it, I felt. We'll see today. Conor's going to know that. Knowing what he's going into, I think he's going to excel and be twice as animated today. Well, that's what the big question of the day is. Can Floyd animate himself up a little bit more?
Now, listen, Floyd Mayweather has always been accustomed to crowds being against him. It's one of the reasons why he's gotten to be so rich, because either you love him or you hate him. You want to see him win or you want to see him lose for the most part. Do you think any of this will start to wear on him as we go from city to city? Because this crowd out here, you think it's all Ireland out here right now.
And it is. This is what's going to wear on him, is the camera and the attention that Conor demands. Floyd's never had a bigger personality. He's never had a polarizing figure like Conor McGregor, where the camera goes from Floyd and they stay on Conor. If that post-fight presser, most of those guys were there for Conor, not so much Floyd. And Paulie, you know this better than anyone. He's an egomaniac. That has to mess with him a little bit. He's never had the spotlight taken from him like a Floyd Mayweather. Like this is going on.
So do you just have to embrace the villain?
Well,
do you just say it for Floyd?
Yeah, that's what Floyd's always embraced. But I think that was why he was so determined to outshine Conor yesterday and start with the big trash talking yesterday, was because, man, nobody is going to outshine me.
Right.
Nobody ever gets the better of me and outshines me. I'm always the center of attention. This guy's a threat. If I'm going to get more shine than this guy, I need to really up my game. We'll see how fast and how far he can up it, because I expect Conor to up it today.
Yeah. Did anything surprise you from what you saw yesterday?
Yes, a few things. I thought when Floyd went, you know what? You want to do 4-ounce gloves? Let's do 4-ounce gloves. You want to do it in the octagon? We can find the octagon. Listen, I love Floyd Mayweather, and he's hyping the fight better than anyone. He's hyping it more than I am right now. But no one believes that. You're not going to fight in 4-ounce gloves. There's no fight in the octagon.
Yeah.
I thought it was brilliant when he said that. That surprised me. I didn't think he would take it there.
Yeah.
It's funny. I ran into Floyd about over a year ago, maybe about a year ago, and we were talking. They were talking maybe a little less than a year, around 9 to the last 15 months. I remember I ran into him at a fight in Florida in a casino, and the talk was becoming pretty vociferous about the Conor McGregor fight. And I asked him, I was like, "Yo, man, what's going on? Is this really happening?" He goes, "Yeah, it's going to happen." And I thought Floyd was just giving me a bunch of lines, and I was like, "What you gonna do?" He goes, "We might do it in a cage."
Oh,
so I was like,
bro.
So that's what I'm saying. I think Floyd will just say anything just to get you to get, because he knows whatever he says will be quoted, and then people will talk about it. I didn't take him seriously, but an idiot reporter might take him seriously.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Now listen, because I know you're talking about Floyd, and I want to get into this fight because Conor McGregor also said yesterday after the press conference, he talked about you. And, and someone asked him, they said, "Hey, is Paulie Malignaggi coming in and sparring with you?" And he said, "Listen, I'm not bringing Paulie Malignaggi for his boxing brain. I'm coming because he's got to take some knocks for the trash talk," he said. In other words, he said, "You got to pay for your mouth." He said, "You been put some respect on his name."
Oh, man. Watch out, Birdman.
I want to know, and I think everyone else want to know, what's the deal? You going to go spar? And he said, it ain't for the boxing brain. He's trying to knock you out.
Listen to me. I'm going to tell people how it is for everybody that's not familiar with how training camps work, okay? Even if me and Conor were super respectful and we were hugging it out and talking all great things about each other, even if there had been no trash talk, in a boxing training camp, and I'm sure it works this way in MMA, when you're sparring, you are trying to light the other guy up.
Right.
I don't care if he's your best friend. I was always told since I was a kid, I don't care if it's your mama across the ring,
Yes.
you're trying to light her up.
Right.
You know
So
what I mean? So
aggressive.
it doesn't matter if we were so friendly or not. It doesn't matter. I always would expect Conor McGregor, if I'm going to spar him,
Yes.
to try to do that to me, because I'm going to be looking to do that to him. That's how you improve the fighter. That's how you also work as a tandem as well. Sparring partners are brought in to make the fighter better. The only way you're going to make the fighter better is to sharpen his reflexes. How do you sharpen his reflexes? The element of danger sharpens your reflexes. If there is no danger, you're not going to really be, you're going to be a little casual with your defense. If the element of danger is there, now you're going to sharpen up a little bit, and that gets you prepared for a fight. You have to mimic a fight situation as best you can.
When do we see resolution to this?
I don't know. You know, we've had talks. We had a little bit of talk. Then they kind of have distanced themselves a little bit.
Yeah.
I was starting to wonder yesterday, to be honest. I was hoping to meet with them yesterday, but it was just so crazy. We didn't get to talk. Then I found out about the interview.
Yes.
So I guess in the interview means I'm still going to get called out there at a certain point.
I
We'll
think
see.
they need to bring Paulie in for his knowledge with boxing, because he's going to see things that maybe Conor's team's not going to see. He has so much experience as a world champion. It's really important they bring Paulie in. I think it's a huge mistake if they don't. And not just to spar or mess him up like they said. I think they bring him in for his knowledge.
Well, I tell you, from when you talk about pound for pound, at one point Floyd Mayweather was pound for pound best fighter in the world as early as 2 years ago. This is a guy who came up in the hard streets of Michigan and really made a name for himself and set the boxing world on fire, but he comes from humble beginnings.
Yeah, we knew I was the A-side. That's why I say Mayweather first. We knew I was the A-side. That's why this bitch...
I fight for many different things. I fight for myself. I fight for the money. I fight for legacy.
Oh, no, I'm good. I'm just saying good.
I fight because I want to be the best. I fight because I want to go down in history as one of the best. That's the reason why I fight.
When he was young, man, you can't believe what he was doing. I mean, this guy was destined to be a champion.
Do you have
Raised in the gyms of Grand Rapids, Michigan by his father and his uncle Roger, Mayweather's talent was apparent at a very early age, winning his first of 3 Golden Gloves national titles at the age of 16.
First, I want to thank the good man upstairs for giving me this opportunity to win the national championship. And second of all, I want to thank my father.
But that celebration was short-lived, for just a few weeks later, Floyd Sr., father and trainer, was sentenced to 5 years in prison.
Everything in life happens for a reason, and that made me work hard and push myself to the limit.
With his focus tightened, Mayweather turned pro and signed with Bob Arum and Top Rank Promotions.
When I went to Top Rank, at that particular time, their whole focus was Oscar De La Hoya. So that's why we kept bumping heads.
After a decade in the shadow of De La Hoya and under the control of Bob Arum, Mayweather bought himself out of the contract, shedding the name of Pretty Boy and adopting the moniker Money.
Finally, when I got free and became my own boss, I done things my way. That's when we started doing record-breaking numbers, and that's what it's about. Money isn't everything. Money is the only thing. Yeah, Bobby.
Some guys you love, some guys you hate. That's what sells tickets. And I'm here to sell tickets, you know. I'm a performer, that's what I do, I sell myself.
Some people look at it as being an asshole. Some people look at it as being cocky. It was just a smart business move by a young kid from Grand Rapids.
A hero and a villain all rolled into one. But everything always comes back to boxing.
I worked my whole life to get to this point. I was destined to be where I'm at.
Biggest name in boxing, even though he's been retired. It'd be almost 2 years in September. He's coming back, though, to take on Conor McGregor. And let me tell you something, folks. This place is swelling. Again, capacity crowd, 15,000. Originally, they wanted to start this press conference right now. But there are so many people still outside the gates. They want to give them the opportunity to come in and see these fighters. That's how much these people are anxiously awaiting this fight, which is just really unbelievable. And I think one of the reasons why is because of the power and the skill set that Conor McGregor has. If he was just any other MMA fighter, you certainly wouldn't have a fight like this at this magnitude. But because he's got that power and a skill set, he can throw from the shoulders. Thus, the reason why we have this fight. You can talk, Brendan, specifically about that power and how he's skilled with his hands.
Yeah, for Conor McGregor, the reason why he burst on the scene so fast because he was just knocking guys out. His accuracy is what makes him special. His distance, he's able to get guys to do normally what they wouldn't do. He gets them out of sync with his movement. And again, what makes him such a special fighter is his accuracy, and he predicts these things. Like with Jose Aldo in 13-second knockout, there's video of him in the locker room previously, before he went out there, doing exactly and breaking down for his coach, saying, this is how it's going to go. I'm going to hit him with this. I'm going to knock him out. He predicted this to a T. So, yesterday when he goes, I'm going to knock him out in under 4 rounds, you can't really laugh at that too much because he's been known to do this. He's also been known to beat guys he probably shouldn't be beating. Nate Diaz at 70, which is insane.
Right.
Eddie Alvarez, who's a world champion Bellator, world champion UFC, fighting him in New York, a bigger guy, a grappler. People say he couldn't beat him. A Chad Mendes, who he took on a short notice, a grappler who they said is going to give him a ton of problems. He murked that guy. Not only did he murk him, but he called it, said it was going to happen in the second round. You're dealing with Mystic Mac for a reason.
I love it, Mystic Mac. Hey, I'm happy you brought up Aldo because I want to show the fans, take a look at the power, the knockout power of the notorious one, Conor McGregor.
I want you to fight hard, but I want you to fight clean. If you want to touch gloves, touch them now. Good. Step backwards. Good luck.
Big John had that one under control. Jose Aldo. Conor McGregor. The most highly anticipated featherweight fight of all time.
Conor looks extremely loose, and Aldo looks like he's feeling the pressure of this moment.
Here we go! Green trunks for the southpaw, the notorious Conor McGregor. Black trunks for the champion, Jose Aldo Jr.
Conor relaxed and smiling.
Oh!
He slapped him!
Like that! Conor McGregor is the new UFC featherweight champion of the world!
Oh, unbelievable!
Whoa!
Oh my God! Unbelievable! The first punch he threw slept him.
Wow!
Well, we're going to have to see that again. Did he throw a punch before that, or was that the first punch he threw? I think he went to throw a left and missed before that. So it might be the third punch he threw. But man.
So there you saw the knockout power. And to me, when you watch that, what did you see? As a boxer, when you looked at that, what did you see out of Conor McGregor?
I saw some solid timing. I mean, he kind of rocked back with his straight left hand, and when Aldo tried to throw that right hand, and he came over the top of it, and he timed him perfect. You know, he hurt him with that left hand, and then the rest of it was all she wrote. You know.
The viewers need to understand though, Aldo just isn't some schlub that walked in. They're talking about a guy who's undefeated for 10 years. You know, the king of the 145-pound division, a monster. A monster.
But he ran straight in.
Yeah.
You got to feint your way in. If you to justify the distance, the gap you're going to give up to a taller guy, you need to feint your way in.
You know why that happened, Paulie?
You cannot just run in.
You know why that happened?
What?
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Why that happened is because Conor got in his head. That Jose Aldo doesn't fight like that. He's a very controlled, not emotional fighter, very composed. During the press conferences, they did a world tour press conference. Nothing UFC's ever done before. It was insane, all over the country, all over the world.
All that.
And for all that, and Conor got in his head so bad, Jose Aldo wanted to kill him. He was so upset, he rushed him, paid for it in 13 seconds.
Well, you know what? And that goes to a bigger point as to why we're here. Because I go back to maybe a couple of years ago when Conor McGregor kind of made the statement, look, I want to fight Floyd Mayweather, and if I fight him, I would crush him. And I'm sure Floyd Mayweather, and he even said it at the time, Money Mayweather said, I don't even know who the guy is. I mean, I don't even know who it is. Then all of a sudden, he's knocking guys out, and he's still calling out Floyd Mayweather, and then he's probably seeing, wow, this guy's pretty big.
I
saw this.
I remember Floyd didn't even know his name. He used to call him Gregor instead of McGregor. But he learned to add the McGregor real fast. Once he started making himself noticed.
Yeah.
And listen, you go back to that point to where we are here today, and look at this. Look at the crowd that we have here behind us, and that this could possibly be the biggest money-generating fight of all time, bigger than what we saw in Mayweather Pacquiao.
I would love to hear an argument that it's not gonna be. I've said it from day one. This is gonna be the biggest sporting event in our lifetime, especially my lifetime. It's gonna be
bigger than the World Cup.
Well, for pay-per-view, it's gonna be Pacquiao Mayweather. I guarantee it.
Okay, for that you might be right, Brendan. You know, I can see that, and I can see also things like this are part of what aids that statistic, because again, Mayweather Pacquiao, there was no confrontational stuff at the press conferences.
Yes.
Pacquiao is not that kind of a guy, personality-wise. We had one big press conference yesterday, and already people have just raised the energy to the way they talk about this fight.
There's
3 more.
Every
There's 3 more
platform,
cities.
from
social
sports
media.
to
But
news.
then I am telling you what's going to get people to go over the top and go nuts and go crazy with ordering. the weigh-in, bro.
Yeah.
The weigh-in always for a big fight is out of this world nuts, but the weigh-in for this fight, they're going to get each other's face. It's going to be trash talking. You're just 1 day away. Man, everyone is going to want to order this fight.
Yes.
Everyone.
Let me tell you
Even the people that say they aren't. They're going to see the weigh-in. They'll be like, all right, baby.
I want to see this fight.
I guarantee it.
I want to see do you think we could see something like this again, two boxers?
Two boxers, you need polarizing personalities. You need polarizing figures, you know? And then you need them to be successful. You need, you know, even in mixed martial arts, Conor McGregor is something out of this world, something that hasn't come along before, you know? So it's not a situation where you're like, okay, you know, that you can only get this with a mixed martial artist and a boxer.
Right.
It's not so much that. It's more so that McGregor's an anomaly. Mayweather's obviously become an anomaly in terms of the money he's made as well. Nobody else has made that kind of thing. So you got two anomalies who came along at around the same time. Mayweather's a little older, but they're around that same time enough to make this fight. And what makes this a little bit more interesting is the anomaly who is the underdog is the younger, fresher guy.
Right.
So, you know, you put the age factor into it, and you have an argument for McGregor. Not to say, you know, because boxing fans think it's blasphemous for the same McGregor to win the fight.
Right.
But age is age is age. Nature takes its course. There are things that slow you down a little bit. Is Floyd going to be a little more hittable? Maybe he still wins the fight. Is he a little more hittable? If Floyd's a little bit more hittable, even if he wins the fight, people are going to talk more about Conor McGregor after this fight than Floyd Mayweather. You know that, right? I mean, McGregor, if McGregor has any kind of success in this fight, people will talk about, yeah, Floyd Mayweather, but remember when Conor did this? Or remember that round when Conor did that? You know what I'm saying? So for me, there's more pressure on Mayweather to do this the right way, the way he's expected to do it. McGregor fell into a huge money fight, a huge situation where he's able to raise his profile tremendously, and there's less expected of him overall.
No, but to that point, though, I think with Floyd Mayweather, he can't fall into that trap because everyone goes, this is the easiest money you've ever made, man. You just got to get in shape. This can be so easy. He's in for a rude awakening. I think he's just going to go in there, do his thing, dance around 12 rounds, and get out there with an easy payday and not get a mark on his face.
Floyd has to dominate. I see Floyd getting aggressive in this fight. You know, some people are going to disagree. I see Floyd fighting aggressively after a couple of rounds. After a couple of rounds. I don't see him coming out the gate and looking to walk Conor down. But I see after a couple of rounds, I see Floyd, my personal opinion, I see Floyd being aggressive in this fight.
You think he tries to get him out of there?
I think he tries to beat on him, yeah. I think after a couple of rounds, I think he will try to beat on him. Which is why it's important that Conor has to show. Conor wants. Which is also important because Conor wants that, but Conor has to show that in the first couple of rounds. Has to show Floyd that, yo, man, it's not that kind of party.
Yes.
Floyd doesn't just go for that kind of fight unless he realizes the risk factor is lower, it's diminished, and then, okay, the risk factor is not there, I'm going to go for it. Floyd's not stupid. He's not going to come out the first couple of rounds, realize Conor's dangerous, and then try to walk him down. No, Floyd will only walk you down once he realizes, okay, I see what's going on over here. There's not much here. I'm going to start walking him down.
Floyd's not stupid enough to go in there and go, I know he's the bigger guy. I know he's knocked guys out, but that's MMA. I'm just going to go in there and rush him. There's no way.
No, not round one. I don't even think round two. It's going to take a couple of rounds for Floyd to start figuring things out.
At least 4 to 5.
See how, I wouldn't say 4 to 5, but my opinion. I see how he's biting on the feints, see how he's biting on the probing shots, see how he reacts to the 1 or 2 hard shots he may throw, because you're not going to throw very many hard shots. See what you're doing and see how Conor's reacting. Based on the kind of reactions you get, if he's putting himself out of position, if he's reacting the wrong way, you start to up the ante a little bit. You start to throw harder. You start to become more aggressive. If Conor reacts the right way, though, Floyd's going to be down the back. Floyd's going to be like, oh, all right. I got to keep it defensive. I got to keep playing chess with him. And it all depends on Conor.
I agree. And let me nip this in the butt right now for all the viewers, especially boxing, when people go, oh, why McGregor, he might just get dirty and throw a spinning elbow or a back kick. That's in his contract. He will get fined so much money, it's not even worth it. Also, if you say that, you do not realize the kind of martial artist Conor McGregor is. He's not a dirty fighter. That is not in his persona to do that.
Well, listen, if with this fight, they're going to be fighting with 10-ounce gloves. They're also going to be fighting at 154 pounds. Now, you would think that would be right in Conor McGregor's wheelhouse. That weight there, that should suit him very well. He usually fights at his best around that weight. For Floyd Mayweather, well, the last time we saw him around that weight was against Oscar De La Hoya, another fight that had, at the time, generated pay-per-view and money records. Let's take a look back at Floyd Money Mayweather against Oscar De La Hoya. So that was Floyd Money Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya, and that was one of the times we've seen him fight at this weight, basically 154. I think Cotto, Canelo. So we've seen at 154. What kind of Floyd have you seen compared to when he fights at his regular welterweight at 147?
I still think it's a very good fighter. I still think it's a very, very composed Floyd Mayweather. I think it was more to do with the size of his opponents. You know, Canelo's a big guy. Oscar De La Hoya is a big guy, you know. Those guys gave him trouble based also on some of the size, as well as their skills. They're also very good fighters.
So Conor's taller. He's going to be longer.
Conor's taller is going to be longer. Conor used to fight at 145 pounds, though, so he's a guy who came up in weight as well. Granted, he couldn't make the weight any longer, but he came up in weight as well. So I don't think he's going to be so much bigger than Floyd. He's definitely going to be the bigger guy. But if you look at Canelo and Oscar, those are physically more imposing guys for me after seeing Conor yesterday.
Interesting. And one of the things that we've heard from Floyd, especially after the press conference, he said, listen, this is definitely going to be my last fight. It's just so hard, training camp. Now, we heard some of that after the Berto fight. We heard that in the Pacquiao. Hey, it's hard training. I'm not the man I used to be 10 years ago. Is that just blowing smoke, messing with Conor McGregor?
You don't know. You don't know until he gets in the ring. I will tell you this: as you get older, everyday training gets a little harder. You're not as passionate about it. You're not as enthusiastic about training every day. You get more injuries. You're more injury prone in camp. The end of my career, I had a lot of injuries in camp where, earlier on in my career, I would just breathe through very difficult training camps and without injuries. So a lot of it isn't so much on fight night. You can get yourself together one night. A lot of it is the preparation. It's so difficult. It's so hard on your body.
The weight cut, Paulie?
The weight cut is harder. Your body, doesn't cut weight as good anymore. Then you put on some natural pounds because your metabolism slows down as you get older, So, there's a lot of factors here when it comes to getting older between the weight cut and becoming more injury prone. Your body just can't take the same kind of beating as it used to when you were younger. Even if you're a fighter who they talk about Floyd Mayweather, he's a fresh guy. I love when I hear this kind of arguments. He's a fresh guy. He preserved himself. Preserve what, bro? We all get old.
Bro.
It's nature. We all get old.
Bro.
There's nothing you can do to stop nature. I'm sorry, guys. So, plus putting all that mileage on you in those training camps, because no matter how easy you make the fight look, training camp is difficult, man. It's intense. To make the fight easy, that means you've had a very intense training camp. That's kind of the mentality fighters have. Have a very intense training camp so fight night doesn't become so difficult for you. And if it does become difficult, you're prepared for it at least, both mentally and physically. That's where aging hurts you. Preparation for the fights, because you get injured, now you all of a sudden you have to diminish the amount of rounds you're doing in the gym and whatnot. Last couple of years of my career, yesterday I mentioned, I always try to spar 125 rounds in a training camp. Last couple of years of my career, one way or another, I would get an injury in training camp. I'd have to stop sparring. I'd have to stop doing this or that. I'd wind up with much less rounds in sparring than I wanted to. Because once you get injured, now you don't want to pull out of the fight every second, right? So what do? You start cutting corners. You start to take things out of your training that maybe you wouldn't have taken out before, because you got to get to fight night. You're going to show up on fight night in shape, but you're not going to be as intensely trained as you were before because you got to preserve your body to get there. Otherwise, you're not going to get there.
Floyd said he's been resting more than ever, too. Yeah. He goes, I've never taken so much rest between training sessions where usually, you guys know Floyd better than anyone. That guy's a workhorse. Night after night, 1 a.m. going on the long runs, bike rides, all that stuff. Now he's saying he's kind of taking all that out because his body can't adapt and recover in time, which is a huge factor.
There's a saying.
40's 40. I don't care who you are.
There's a reason why Father Time is still unbeaten when it comes to sports.
And there's a saying we used to say in boxing, I don't know if they said it in mixed martial arts, as you get older, especially if you got a lot of fights, these guys with a lot of fights actually add more mileage than them taking damage. But Floyd hasn't had a ton of fights. Had a lot of amateur fights, though those still count. As you get older, you work smarter, not harder. And so I think Floyd is understanding that. But it gets frustrating because mentally, you have a fight coming up. You want to be able to work hard. And when you can't, it starts to wear on your mind.
So that's why you see this fight being done at 154. So now let's go to Conor McGregor here, and let's talk about him at that weight. And, listen, I would think as you talk about it, it seems like me watching the few fights I've seen of his at 147, smaller guy, I don't know, as explosive and as powerful as I see Conor McGregor in that 155 mark. Usually when I see that Conor McGregor, I'm like, whoa.
No, you're absolutely right, Brian. At 55, Conor is his very best. When I heard this fight's at 54, I thought, brilliant. So you're telling me we got a chance. Because at 45, at 45, Conor was killing himself to make that weight. Although he was brilliant, he was the champion there, beat one of the best of all time, Jose Aldo. At 55, if you saw what he did against Eddie Alvarez at Madison Square Garden, man, that's when I was like, all right, I'm done doubting this kid. I am done doubting this kid. Because Eddie Alvarez, he's a Hall of Famer. He's on the Mount Rushmore. He's a Bellator world champion, UFC world champion, phenomenal grappler, can box. He's the underground king. You know, there's a lot of factors there that should have gave Conor a lot of problems. And he walks through this, man.
Well, I'm happy you brought that up because we certainly have some video. And let's show the fans that fight here. And why don't you walk us through it? And let's start with round 2 and what Conor McGregor did specifically in this fight.
Yeah, in this fight. Takeaway from this fight is he forced Eddie Alvarez. Eddie Alvarez even said this. Going in the fight, he goes, I wanted to grapple more. I wanted to wrestle. I got in there, and I was kind of mesmerized by his movement. I couldn't get my timing. I couldn't get his distance down. He fought longer and taller than I thought. The way he moved, we couldn't mimic that in camp. He goes, so when I got in there, nothing would land. If you notice, Eddie Alvarez, all his shots are short here. He's not setting anything up. That's unlike Eddie Alvarez. The guy, again, he's a world champion for a reason. He did not look like a world champion in this fight. He can't land anything. Conor McGregor's calm. He's composed. Eddie Alvarez comes out super aggressive. And you see Conor, he has this tendency to get guys to calm down, to relax, to go to his rhythm. And when they do that, that's when that left hand comes out of nowhere. And you see in this fight, Eddie Alvarez, we've really never seen him get dismantled like this. This is Conor's first fight at 55. It's a huge stage. Remember, this fight was the first time the UFC was ever in Madison Square Garden. The entire nation of Ireland's behind him. They're in New York. There's so much pressure on Conor in this fight. And the way he came out, hands behind his back, which you will see in the Floyd Mayweather fight. I guarantee he's going to do some of these antics. But in this fight, for him to do it at this level and against a guy in Eddie Alvarez who should be able to take him down, should be able to land shots, and he didn't have a chance. He just didn't have a chance.
Conor definitely has a ton.
So there you see the left hand. Now, there are a number of people who say with the 10-ounce glove, that'll take away some of the power. What do you think?
Listen, people keep saying, like, 10-ounce gloves is not going to be the same power. Paulie, you know this better than anyone. That 10-ounce glove ain't much. When you put the wrap underneath there, it's like 2 clubs. And it's 10 ounce, it's more material. It's not that different than those 4-ounce gloves. And mixed martial artists, for all the boxing heads out there, like, Conor's never sparred before. That's all we do is spar in 10-ounce gloves, 16-ounce gloves. We're very familiar with those glove size. It's not like he's going to put them on and go, oh, my God, what is this?
Yeah.
This is so strange. I've never done this before. No. He's very familiar with it. If you have knockout power with 4-ounce gloves on, you have knockout power with 10-ounce gloves on. It's your fighting style. It's the power. It's your talent.
It's also the way you're wrapping your hands. It's like a bat already underneath the glove.
Yeah.
And then you're putting the glove over it. The glove is just basically just a wrap over the hand wrap that is basically like a little bat. You know what I mean? When they tape that glove on, it's like it sticks on you. You know, you're looking to punch through a wall. You know what I'm saying? You already feel that. So, you know, the whole thing of the weight of the gloves is a bit overplayed, I think, because it's a lot of people don't understand that. You know, your average person will shoot a basketball, throw a football, kick a soccer ball or whatnot. They won't understand what it's like to fight with 4-ounce gloves or 10-ounce gloves, have their hands wrapped in a certain way. Yeah. So they can't really, what's the word I'm looking for? They can't
envision grab the concept.
Envision that and grab that concept. Mm-hmm. And so they're automatically making a lot of assumptions and guessing on what it's going to be. But I agree with Brendan. You know, once you're wrapping your hand a certain way and the gloves come over you, man, you're going to have a sharp shot with a 10-ounce glove. It's going to hurt.
Here's where the other advantage comes with a 10-ounce glove. You have more defense with the material of a boxing glove.
Yes, you can open your gloves.
You can open the gloves, which actually helps Conor McGregor. He's not exactly known for his defense like Floyd Mayweather. So when this fight does happen, those 10-ounce gloves, that's an advantage for Conor. Because, listen, Conor does get hit. He will get hit. Even when he knocked out Jose Aldo, he did get hit with a hook. He's been touched before, you know, the Nate Diaz fight. So he's not known for being so elusive where he doesn't get hit. He will take some hits to land one because he's usually the harder puncher. So those 10-ounce gloves are actually going to help Conor McGregor in this fight.
And it actually brings me to sets up a good point, Brendan, because when you're using the gloves for defense, especially in boxing, you're using them to cover, to block, you know, to open up the glove and cover. You're also using them to parry. You know, I don't know how much you're parrying in mixed martial arts. You're parrying a lot. You can use them, open up, and push shots away, parry, catch. But you got to be careful with all that because you can be feinted out of position and parry air. I feint a jab at you, you may go to parry it, and I come over with a left hook instead. And come around, you know what I mean? So these are all little techniques that I don't know how much they fall from MMA to boxing, that in terms of defending yourself, you're defending yourself a little bit differently in boxing than you are in MMA. Also, I was watching that video right there with Eddie Alvarez. Eddie also has to brace for the kicks. There's no kicks coming in a boxing match.
True.
A lot of times when you fight in a southpaw, you're setting it up, you're hitting him on the arms, you're touching him on the glove, you're throwing a lot of probing shots, you're doing a lot of this to your lead shoulder. I may touch you here and then here. You know what I mean? I go bump, bump. You know what I mean? So you got to understand, if I'm just touching you here, that it's not just that I'm doing nothing. I'm actually setting my distance, I'm setting my range.
Sir.
A boxer understands what's going on if it's happening to him. Okay, this guy's trying to set his range. Let me offset that range. Does Conor McGregor understand the setting up of range being different in boxing than it is in mixed martial arts?
And that's what I've heard from different people. They always talk about, that's why it's the sweet science. The science in boxing is just different from MMA. You disagree?
No, it is different. It is different, but the sweet science is part of mixed martial arts. We understand the sweet science, not to the level of Paulie or Floyd Mayweather, but guys who are good at timing, who are accurate, especially a guy like Conor McGregor, who's so dynamic, who downloads material very fast and brings it into the arena, into the ring. Man, he's bringing art to the science classroom. And when you bring art, especially with his talents, you have a real problem on your hand. And that's the X factor. And that's why this place is packed.
Yes.
Packed.
Yeah, listen.
Kind of personality helps too.
Just think about when we first came on the air compared to where we are now, and you can just see behind me how this crowd has just swelled up. I mean, they've got people all the way up to the very back, up in the yard here. This is a venue that holds 15,000 here, the Budweiser stage in Toronto. They call it the Six, and the Six God is here. Drake is even here.
Drizzy's in the house.
Drizzy is here.
You had to show up for this.
You
Come on.
Started from the bottom, now we're here, fellas.
Exactly.
What is going on?
That just goes to show you how big this event is. He's going to be here as well. He's coming on the stage. This is really something. And it just seems like every stop, it gets bigger and bigger. Here in Toronto, we're going to Brooklyn, going to your home tomorrow, and then we end in London. I mean, this is just unbelievable, that the amount of interest that these two combatants hold and have over these people.
It's so special, man. It is so special.
And people are showing up everywhere we go. People are showing up in droves. In droves. It's not even the fight yet, guys. They're just talking about the fight.
Exactly.
They're showing up in droves. There's no way this fight doesn't sell.
And I remember when we did Mayweather-Pacquiao, we always said we equated it to basically a Super Bowl on steroids. When you look at the amount of money that fight generated, you look at the fanfare, you look at just the press conferences, the weigh-in, all of that stuff. Now, the action may not have been the best.
Listen, if that fight's on steroids, this is Jose Canseco.
Yeah,
This thing is another level. We got Bane out here.
Yes.
This is a whole nother level. We got Barry Bonds up in here. This thing is to another level, man.
Let's take a look back at Mayweather versus Pacquiao, round 11.
Watch the feet. Watch the feet. Watch the feet.
So Mayweather, Pacquiao, of course, that took place at the MGM Grand Garden Arena there in Las Vegas. That was round 11. That one went the distance. Floyd Mayweather walking away with a victory, 49-0, looking to go 50-0 against Conor McGregor. That's interesting. Round 11. Listen, MMA, 3 rounds, 5 minutes, 15 minutes basically.
Yeah.
Full fight, you're talking about basically 36 minutes. How about conditioning? Is Conor McGregor, do you think, built to go the distance? Because I'm trying to think back. I think Diaz,
Yeah,
who fought
Nate
at
Diaz,
170,
yeah.
he looked gassed.
He had some cardio issues in that fight, and that's going to be the knock. And, the naysayers can go, man, I don't know if Conor can go all 12 rounds because he struggled with cardio with Nate Diaz at 70. The key word there is at 170 pounds. That is not normal for Conor McGregor. That is a bigger weight for him. He's going against a bigger guy, naturally a bigger guy. And also, he wasn't familiar. Again, that was new territory. He was trying to get him out in the second round, trying to throw all power.
That was the thing
At 54, he doesn't have cardio issues. At 45, he doesn't have cardio issues. So you can get rid of that.
It's also the kind of pace you're fighting, though, Brendan, right? I mean,
100%.
he came out so fast out of the box against Nate. He was always doomed to gas out if you didn't get him out of there,
But won't he have to start fast?
It makes me think about this fight
Won't
as well.
he have to start fast
because
though in this fight?
Yesterday, what he said, I'm going to get Floyd out by 4. If he really attempts to get Floyd out in 4 rounds, man, come out of the box faster than you would think a regular boxer would come out of. And if he doesn't get him out of there, is round 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 going to be very difficult for him? Does he get stopped just on the fact that he can't defend himself anymore from gassing out? It's one of the question marks in there, depending on how fast he starts early in the fight.
At 54, though, I'm not too concerned about it. I think if Floyd is doing damage going to the body early, that might have some effect on his cardio. But physically, can he go 12 rounds? 100%, he definitely can. You don't sign up for this magnitude of a fight, and there's going to be some cardio issues. The only time we've ever seen cardio issues was at 170. That's not an argument. You don't have an argument there. He's a true professional. He's on this stage for a reason. And at 154, you're not going to have those same issues. The other thing, too, we keep saying, Conor at 54, you got to start fast, get him out there in 4 rounds. Listen, Floyd, he's not a fast starter, man. And, all boxers like to take their time, download the data, feel guys out.
He's defensively sharp.
Defensively sharp 2 years ago. He's 40 now. He's not as active. You got Conor. Man, I don't care who you are. And he's knocked out tougher guys than Floyd Mayweather. I hate to tell you, fellas. He's knocked out some pretty tough guys in this world. Not in the boxing world, but in my world. So if that left hand does land, I promise you, Floyd Mayweather will have some serious issues.
How much is that?
No one's really arguing that.
You made a point there about going to the body. I see Floyd going to the body a lot this
He
fight.
does. He has that spearing jab.
But I also think it's almost like if he gets aggressive, which is, like I said, I feel like he's going to get aggressive at a certain point. He started breaking Judah down to the body. Remember Judah threw that low blow late in the fight? Because Floyd was breaking him to the body. He was wearing him out. And Judah just had to foul him to get himself a break. I feel like when Floyd does become aggressive, he looks to break you to the body. Floyd's offense is very underrated because he varies it so well. And when he gets confident enough that you can't pose a threat anymore, he assaults you to a higher level, and that variation is even harder to defend.
He gets nasty too, Paulie. People forget.
Gets dirty.
I know. He's out there and he's doing all this.
That's one of the things right there. The dirty stuff. People always think Conor's going to be dirty. There's subtle dirty stuff Floyd does. Conor's going to have to learn to not only deal with it, but try to figure out ways to do it back to where people aren't going to be too hard on him because he's a mixed martial artist. He's not supposed to be dirty at all. Every fighter is dirty. It's a fight. We're fighting. In the ring, in a cage, we're fighting. If you try to get away with little things, pushing your head, especially righty versus lefty, a lot of times you're pushing the guy's head down and hitting them over the top. A lot of times rabbit punches come into play because, your lead hand's on the same side. You're rolling your shoulder a certain way. Kidney shots come into play the same way.
Conor can't do any of that. If Conor even goes for that, he's going to get a warning, then he's going to get a flag.
There's ways to disguise it, and that's one of the things where you're out of your league here because I'm sure mixed martial artists know ways to disguise dirty stuff in their sport.
True.
Boxers know how to disguise dirty stuff in our sport. Floyd knows how to disguise dirty stuff to not make it look so authentic, to not make it look so in your face to where the referee's like, yo, buddy, what are you doing?
Even if he does go, Paulie, they're going to let Floyd get away with a lot more because it is boxing. Because we assume, the general public, the boxing public, you guys assume Conor's going to be dirty, which I promise you he's not.
Right.
No,
so there's going to be a zero-tolerance policy, and he knows that. And that ref in that ring, man, I hope it's a guy who at least is open-minded enough to know that Conor needs to work too, man. It can't be just about Floyd and those boxing rules. You got to give him a fair shot.
Well, I'll say this. You know, we in boxing, we saw Jeff Horn be rough with Manny Pacquiao. A lot of dirty stuff in there. We see Sean Porter is a guy who's very physical and gets away with a lot of stuff, and a lot of it is dirty.
Andre Ward.
Andre Ward even did a lot in the Kovalev fight. You do what you get away with. Some of it is more subtle than others. Some things are more subtle than other things. There's ways to be more subtle, and then there's guys that aren't so subtle. It's up to the referee to do his job. My experience, 44 professional boxing matches. For the most part, the referee should have paid $1,000 for a ringside seat. For the most part,
you say you don't need him at all.
For the most part, you don't do anything. I've been constantly, I have been time, and look, Kovalev didn't need him, right? I mean, there was nothing going on.
Did he ever need him?
What I'm saying is, he needed him. But what I'm saying is, that's when you tell the referee, buddy, why don't you sit ringside, bro? All you're doing is taking up space in here.
I see what you're saying.
For the most part, that's what I've seen in my experience as a boxer. You know what I mean? All kinds of stuff happens. I remember early in my career, I'd look at the ref, I'd get buttered or something. I look at the ref and he wouldn't even look twice. He'd just be like,
right.
You know, and I'd be like, at a certain point, you're just like, all right, whatever, dude. These guys are just here to watch the fight from the closest seat in the house. Don't get me wrong. Being a referee is not an easy job.
Right.
I'm not trying to be a cynic here and kill off all referees. It's a hard job to do because you're trying to enforce the rules, but you're also not trying not to kill all the action.
You also got to know your fighter, right? You also got to know the fighter. And
it's hard to know Conor in a boxing ring because he's never done it before.
Yeah, but you got to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's not a dirty guy and flag him if he does something that maybe he wasn't aware of, or maybe it's something that Floyd has forced him to do. So you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. But also, that ref has a huge job come August 26th because you're right, we've never seen Conor, but also he has to know both guys. Being a ref in boxing is the hardest job in sports. It really is. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. But you got to know who is in the ring. You got to know if the guy's in trouble. Conor's a bigger guy. Conor has a hell of a chin. So if he gets rocked, don't stop the fight early. Let him fight through it. You got to know certain things about the fighter and let him fight through it.
Part of getting rocked when guys stop fights, when guys are rocked, is more what's been happening before that. Has he already been assaulted before that? Because a lot of times if the fight is pretty even or whatnot and a guy gets rocked, you don't stop it right away. But if he's been assaulted for a few rounds in a row, now he's rocked, maybe the referee jumps in a little quicker because he's like, all right, you're already just getting beat down a couple rounds. You know what I mean? So now you get rocked on top of it. You're like, let me step in. So also getting rocked is also in the perspective of the moment it's happening. You're getting rocked in an even fight, okay. You're getting rocked in a fight where all you're doing is catching a beating. Referee might be able to jump in a little sooner. And that's up to the referee's discretion to understand that.
The judges have a hell of a job, too, because these judges have to look at Conor McGregor, and if he's being the aggressor, if he's moving a certain way, and he's winning rounds. It's tough to score for these guys.
You saw in Pacquiao and Horn. There was a number of people who thought Pacquiao won it, but those judges felt like Horn was the more aggressive fighter, and they gave him the win. So that can always go both ways. Hey, the beauty of us, especially after when this press conference is done, both of the fighters are going to join us. We're going to sit right here. We're going to talk with Floyd Money Mayweather. We're also going to talk with Conor McGregor. So I'll come to you here, Brendan. How does Conor McGregor win this fight? How does he do the unthinkable? How does he shock the world, so to speak? As you take a look at this crowd, I mean, look at the people here at this Budweiser stage in Toronto. Capacity, 15,000 people, and we are near capacity here. How does he win this fight?
You know what he does? Exactly what he's been doing. He doesn't switch it up. He doesn't try to become a boxer. He doesn't do anything out of the ordinary. He keeps doing what got him to the dance. You don't come to the dance with a salsa routine and then just start breakdancing. You keep doing salsa. So for him, it's about his timing, his accuracy, and get in Floyd's head. Get him to come aggressive and make some mistakes, which is easier said than done with one of the greatest boxers of all time. But he has a chance to do it. If anyone can do it, it's Conor McGregor. And those opening rounds, when Floyd's trying to figure him out, trying to get his rhythm, you're going to see some openings. And he has got to strike where that iron is hot. Because if there's an opening on Floyd, you're not going to get it ever again. Floyd knows this. He's too smart for it. So if there is a hint of an opening, he has to capitalize on it, has to do it early. Otherwise, as the rounds go on, Floyd's going to take over like a storm, like he's known for doing to world-class boxers.
Yeah, and a lot of that goes to film study, too, because there are some things, subtle things that Floyd Mayweather does in the ring where you think he's taunting the other guy, but really he's resting. Yeah. And you're giving him that opportunity to rest. So the conditioning's going to have to be on point and really pressure him. So how does Floyd Mayweather win this fight?
Okay, well, Floyd Mayweather, obviously, tactically, from a tactical standpoint, it's probably blasphemy for even me to tell him how he's going to win the fight because Floyd knows more than me what he's got to do to win the fight. But here's the thing. Floyd pretty much gives us a pretty distinctive pattern over the course of his career. It takes a couple of rounds to figure you out. Not take too many chances early on. Early on, at 130 pounds, he used to take some more chances. He was more aggressive. But since then, not take too many chances. See what's going on with you. See how you're reacting to certain punches. See how you're reacting to certain moves he's making. One of the things we haven't talked about yet, Floyd gives you so many different looks. Besides all the feints he gives you, Floyd changes the look a million different ways. He'll give you this look. He'll give you this look on the front foot. He'll give you this look on the back foot. He'll give you the shoulder roll. He'll do a lot of different looks. Part of why you change the looks, here's a couple reasons why you change looks. Number one, you change the target for the opponent. So if I'm fighting you and you're giving me a different look, now I have to reprocess the new look to see for the new openings. Now you're giving me different looks. That's one of the things. Number two, how do you react every time I change the look? Does it take you a second to recover, to realize what's going on? You start backing up out of confusion? You get aggressive out of confusion? These are things that the computer is starting to process every time he changes the look. What are you doing? Now I'm feinting off the look. Every single look I give you, I have to be able to punch off of it. Floyd Mayweather is a master. He can punch off every look he gives you. Some guys change the look, and you know what happens? They can't punch off certain looks they're giving you. So it's an illusion. Floyd makes it so he can punch off every look he's giving you. So every look he's giving you, you not only have to reprocess it, but now you have to also reprocess what's coming at you from that different look, from that different angle. So once he's processing all this stuff, depending on the reaction he sees from Conor, he gets aggressive or he boxes him on the back foot. To me, I don't know that Conor has the enough experience to understand all these things. And once Floyd realizes that, he's going to start getting aggressive. He's going to start going to the body. Because let's face it, a lackluster decision for Floyd Mayweather in this fight, probably not going to get the job done in people's eyes. Probably not going to get the job done as far as avoiding criticism. Probably not going to be appreciated by very many people. I think Floyd even knows that. I think in order to become aggressive, he's got to process all these things that he does, then realize where Conor's coming up short, and from there, take advantage with aggressiveness and go to the body. I see him going to the body.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Sure.
What happens if Conor knocks him out in the third round? What happens?
It's got to be one shot. It's got to be a one shot, not one shot. Because even if he hurts him, Floyd's good at surviving. We've seen him survive. He holds.
Shane Mosley, we saw him try.
He's got to catch him. He's got to catch him with one shot
a clean
knockout.
shot.
Yeah, a one shot knockout. That's like hitting the lotto. You know what I mean? That's like
lotto?
That's like hitting the lotto. Hitting a one shot.
The lotto?
Because Brendan, to say, okay, to make that your plan going into a fight, going into a fight of this magnitude, you can't make that your plan.
No, I agree. You can't just say I'm going to go in there and hopefully have a puncher's chance.
Yeah, you got to have something deeper than that.
Yes.
Floyd, how often does Floyd get hit clean? Because to hit him clean, number one, it's a little bit of luck, but also to hit him clean, you have to be able to disguise the punch. Floyd, you know how Shane Mosley hurt Floyd Mayweather? He shot a jab to the body, got Floyd's guard to drop, got Floyd's eyes to drop, and boom, came over the top. We used to call that in the gym a rooftop. Yeah. You start here and you come over the roof.
Look at Zab Judah.
Yes, but does that always work? You gotta time that right, because sometimes that jab to the stomach comes, you know what happens? Your opponent steps back. You gotta make that. Shane Mosley had to time that rooftop in a way to when he did it, he had to know Floyd was gonna hold his ground. If Floyd doesn't hold his ground when that jab to the stomach comes, Floyd steps back, he's out of range to throw that right hand. He caught it in the moment where Floyd held his ground.
You're also talking about a younger Floyd. You're talking about a younger Floyd.
No, you're talking about a younger Floyd, but you still have to disguise it.
How about this? How is Conor as a finisher? Because when you talk about that Mosley right hand, he got hit and held on, remember?
Yes.
He held on to try to gain time and get his faculties back, and then kind of took control. If you remember, he had Mosley so messed up, Mosley didn't even want to throw the rest of that fight.
Yeah.
He took that away from him.
And the same to Pacquiao. Pacquiao hurt him in that fourth round. Remember?
Come on, he didn't hurt him.
Well,
he touched him.
He went to
he hit the lottery.
Yeah, he hit the lottery. He went to the ropes, but then all of a sudden Pacquiao got cautious.
Listen. Sometimes a guy gets so aggressive that you'll take a few steps back to try to control him.
Okay.
Sometimes, and not just because the punch lands doesn't mean you're hurt. Getting hurt is very obvious. So when a guy's hurt, we all know he's hurt. Sometimes guys get hit, and you see them back up, you see them hold. Why am I holding you after I get hit sometimes? Or why am I backing off after I get hit sometimes? It's not that I'm always hurt. If I'm hurt, you can tell I'm hurt. It's because you heard the crowd go jumping crazy when you landed that shot. You might think you have me hurt. You might go crazy. So how do I lower your energy? Because I don't want you to get all crazy on me. I want the energy to stay where it's at. So I'm going to go for a walk, or I'm going to hold you. Yeah. Doesn't always mean I'm hurt. In that particular situation, I just think Floyd wanted to take a step back to diminish the energy of it. Having said that, again, Conor is used to fighting mixed martial arts rules. When he hurts a guy, he just throws all these punches.
He doesn't though, Paulie. To that point, what Conor does really well when he sees the guy hurt, he doesn't rush in. He stays composed and breaks him down, looks for that next big shot.
But there's a balance to being composed, because if you wait too long, the window closes. You have to be composed.
McGregor's history, he's one of the best finishers we've ever seen.
We're getting to the point where both the fighters are getting ready to come out. This is Buck, not nice. He's part of the OVO team, Drake's record label. Here he is. Let's take a listen.
I've been on so many flights, it's like my record's clear now. AKA the man, AKA I never ran. Don't make me turn this red light on your head like you Roxanne. Only talk to bosses, not the second in command. Bringing talks to me, you better have a plan. Cause they don't have a cure for all my pain. AKA it's not nice and I live up to my name. Yeah, this the boy, are you insane? I drink Henny when I shoot my pistol at the range. That way when I'm tipsy, I still know I got my aim. AKA it's not nice and it's not a fucking game. Yeah, you and I are not the same. Posted like he Baka, got your wifey running brains. She was there with boy to keep my front door off the frame. She say I look like Usher when I'm trapping in the rain.
I wanna see you do it, let's go. Trapping in the rain.
Trapping in the rain. She say I look like Usher when I'm trapping in the rain. Just know I'm a shooter first and rapping's not my thing.
What's your name?
AKA it's not nice and I live up to my.
What you do?
Hide in the racks.
Let's go.
I don't pay tax, 12 on my back.
What you do?
My job I carry around, but I never lack. Walking up with it, so yeah, I will tell you that. I went to jail, then they released me in black.
And what?
When I came out, Timberlake was bringing sexy back.
Let them know what's up.
Facts, nigga, facts.
What you did?
I fell in love with my strap. Never submitted cause I want a minute stack. Yeah. Don't run until that.
How they move?
You niggas move like the cops. Don't let me pepper your block. Out the window while the whip moving, that's a hell of a shot. On my ops, I'll put you niggas on Fox.
I need them hands up right now.
Yeah. This the boy, are you insane?
What you do?
I drink Henny when I shoot my pistol at the range.
Let's go.
That way when I'm tipsy, I still know I got my aim. AKA it's not nice and I live up to my. Woo!
Bounce, bounce, bounce.
Yeah.
Bounce,
Yeah.
bounce,
Yeah.
bounce.
Woo!
Bounce.
Yeah. Hey yo, Toronto, I love you. Yeah, you know what it is.
Make some moves.
OVO,
Not nice.
OVO, baby.
Give it up, everybody, for Baka, not nice from Toronto.
Part of that OVO sound.
Give a round of applause. He's one of your very own. Guys, we're less than 5 minutes away until the fighters come to the stage. Hey, who's here to see the undefeated 49-0 TBE Floyd Money Mayweather? Who's here to see, here in Toronto, the UFC lightweight champion of the world, from Dublin, Ireland? He calls himself Mystic Mac, but he is the notorious Conor McGregor. Now I'm going to ask you guys your opinion. August 26th, live on Showtime pay-per-view, T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas. Who's going to win the fight? Will it be Floyd Mayweather? Or is it going to be Conor McGregor? We expect you to make some noise when the guys make their way to the stage. In less than 5 minutes, I got something special for you guys. I'm sorry, pass along the message. Bling, it's all you.
So there you have it. Both the fighters are at the venue. They're ready to walk here on stage. Give me some final comments here. What are you expecting?
Hey, man, I expect more fireworks. Now both guys know what they're getting into. Yesterday, you know, it was kind of you're walking into the unknown. Today, they're walking into the known, and they're going to be ready.
What do you think?
I'm expecting a huge counterpunch from Conor McGregor. I think this is his show, and I think it's his to lose. I expect a way better version of Conor McGregor in selling this fight. I think Floyd did a great job leading this thing off. He hit a home run in L.A. Tonight's Conor's night, and I think he's going to win the next few states as well.
It's like an election here.
Exactly,
going on.
all red states.
There were some great lines. Conor McGregor saying he was going to take Floyd Mayweather out within 4 rounds. Floyd Mayweather said, the only thing God made perfect is my boxing record. It will stay perfect on August 26th. Let me tell you something. This crowd is ready. It is jam-packed here at the Budweiser stage here in Toronto, and they are ready to hear from the money man, Floyd Mayweather himself, and the notorious one, Conor McGregor. As soon as it's over, we will have a post-show. But look, I told you, the sixth god is here. Drizzy Drake has now taken the stage.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I came here today to witness history with each and every one of you. The biggest fight in the history of fighting. And of course, they had to come to the greatest city in the world to do a press conference, of course. So, whether it is Floyd Money Mayweather, or whether it is the notorious Conor McGregor, I just want to welcome these two fighters to Toronto, a place that we love till the day that we are all gone. My name is Drake. I love each and every one of you. Let's get into this shit!
This place the six. He calls himself the sixth god. Hey, you know it's got to be big here in Toronto when Drizzy comes out.
Running through the six, fellas.
With my woes.
What is going on?
Man, I tell you, every stop, it is something big. You can't get any bigger than Drake here in Toronto, so you know he's here. And listen, we're going to have him on, too, for the post
He wasn't
wrap-up.
even scheduled to be here. This morning, he goes, hey, man, I want to come through. No one knew.
Everybody
That's how
wants
big
to be
this
here.
event is.
If you're in town during this, when this event comes your way, it's like the circus. Everybody wants to see it.
Who's coming to New York?
Here we go. The fighters are here. Let's get it started. This is the second stop of Mayweather versus McGregor.
I'm gonna stay at the top, do what I want to, because when you speak boxing, you're speaking Mayweather.
I'm gonna be ruthless in there. My fist is just gonna break his whole face, and that's it.
You got MMA fighters calling me out. Man, stay in your lane.
Let's not kid ourselves here who the big star is of this show. Got me, a slick, handsome Irish kid, and has climbed to the top of the game quicker than anyone else has done it.
This is not like a normal fight.
It's big, big
business.
Conor McGregor has said he will now turn all of his attention to fight only one man, and that is Floyd Money Mayweather.
I'm always looking to make history every single day.
The first man ever to hold 2 titles simultaneously.
And here we are again, more history.
This just puts it even more in stone. No one's even came close. I'll be immortalized after this.
No fighter in the history has done what Floyd Mayweather has done.
All I ever thought about was winning. So that's all I know.
When there's nobody there to separate, he's gonna break.
They fighting every day, they in the gym every day. These fighters still can't beat me.
When I hit a person, they don't escape.
It's not about who hit the hardest. It's about who has the will to win more.
I see it in my head, and then it happens. It's gonna be familiar. Because I already know that I can face anything.
I know how to fight. I know how to win. I'm God-gifted.
I hold this entire game in the palm of my hand.
It's never personal for me. It's always business.
It's over before it even begins.
When it comes down to boxing, I'm the best at this.
He's a two-division world champion, and he is the fighting pride of Dublin, Ireland.
Conor McGregor is a knockout artist. Every time he touches guys, they fall.
No one in this boxing game knows what's coming. I'm gonna stop Floyd. You're all gonna eat your words. The whole world is gonna eat their words. Long, rangy, dangerous with every hand. I'm gonna teach him about true fighting. Tell him I'm coming! I'll be immortalized after this one.
This is why everyone's been talking about Conor McGregor. It's all over.
This kid's the real deal.
Oh, big shot from McGregor. That's it.
Conor McGregor.
We're not here just to take part. We're here to take over.
Oh, tag left. He heard him with that. Tonight belongs to Conor McGregor.
Oh, he slapped him just like that. Conor McGregor, featherweight champion of the world.
I'll get the second world title, raise them up consecutively.
He got tagged, he's hurt. That's it. The first man ever to hold two titles simultaneously.
Call me Mystic Mac because I predict these things.
Every single person doubted me. Doubt me now.
Welcome to Toronto with a record 21 wins, 3 losses. He is the former UFC featherweight and the reigning, defending UFC lightweight champion of the world. From Dublin, Ireland, please welcome the notorious Conor McGregor. This man has been atop the game for 20 plus years. He is the pay-per-view kingpin with over $1 billion sold. He has defeated everyone. He is a 5-division world champion.
When they mention Pacquiao, they say, who is that? They say, that's the guy that we're trying to get to fight Floyd Mayweather. When they say Floyd Mayweather, they say, that's an all-time great. Money isn't everything. Money is the only thing.
Hard work, not this. Hard work, not this.
You already know I only come around once in a lifetime.
Wait till we get under motherfucking lights and this lights, camera, action. I do everything better than every boxer. Everything.
plane just work. I will always find a way to win. I worked my whole life to get to this point, and no one is taking this away from me.
TBE, ladies and gentlemen, Toronto, presenting Floyd Money Mayweather.
Smashed up in an old black caravan. 100 more like a hurricane. Creep up on like it's Pakistan. Have a dish and make it fit a man. Yeah. Been a man, even going and I run it in. In a circus, I be juggling. 10 toes, gotta know what I do it for. Every day I'm muzzling. Sipping while they stumbling. While I'm on the ground tunneling. Find an interest, now I'm coming in. They don't wanna see me coming in. Doing any in the 50 zone that I made a left on Cumberland. OT on the 100 game. All these 100 baby falling out of the sky and the winter till the summer end. Keep it dope down, how you mean? Now you know the whole team coming in. Now the whole team coming in. Hey, now they want a rich. Know the lifestyle dangerous. But we only go grow. They be lying if they said they wouldn't change us. But we always gonna remain us. We gon' never ever change up. We gon' never ever change up. We gon' never ever change up. Money, 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 money team. 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 I'ma put it on another scene. I ain't paid for no other team. Money, 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 money team. Money, 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 money team. Take it back when I was 17. Distribution, let it in. Take a look into my eyes, you can see the pain, figure what I really mean. I'ma move me out the hood, they can never take me from it, I'ma never leave. So I had to get a money team. Money, 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 money team. I remember it was all a dream. Like we living it ain't what it seems. Floyd got me feeling like a Millie Moon, walking like a Billie Jean. Southside Finch, I done came up from the bottom of the bottom, look at me. Now I nigga on a money team. Money, 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 money team. Lately I been feeling wonderful. All these hundreds need 100 more. On point, got a ton of stocks, just a little bit of what I got in store. Take a look at what the money do. Young and I ain't even 22. Baby K, hold 22. You can tell me what you wanna do, but I ain't really in the understanding. Need a situation looking graphic, automatic, know that I'll be more than happy. Proof gone, I'm a word of magic. More than happy, I'ma make it happen. Innovator, I'ma get it made. Paint a perfect picture, anime. You know, Adelaide, unless I'm getting paid. Money, 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 money team. 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 I'ma put it on another scene. I ain't paid for no other team. Money, 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 money team. Money, 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 money team.
Toronto! What's up, 6? You ready for the fight? You ready for McGregor? Are you ready for Money Mayweather? August 26th, it all goes down. The world will witness an unprecedented matchup. It's a fight you, the fans, wanted. We're gonna give you the fight you want. The attention has already generated remarkable response. We want to thank you for coming out. How about Drake coming out? This is just the second stop of a whirlwind 4-city global tour is stretching from Los Angeles to London, reaching fight fans around the globe online, television networks worldwide. And it all goes down Saturday, August 26th, the T-Mobile Arena in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. It's promoted by Mayweather Promotions. And this event will be distributed to you live on Showtime pay-per-view. Up first, market leader. He's played a key role in bringing groundbreaking boxing matchups, delivering them to really the biggest and the broadest possible audience ever. Along with Floyd Mayweather and Mayweather Promotions, he's been instrumental in delivering the biggest pay-per-view events of all time. So please, welcome the Executive Vice President, General Manager of Showtime Sports, Mr. Steven Espinoza.
On behalf of Showtime Pay-Per-View, as well as our partners, Mayweather Promotions, UFC, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment, we thank all of you for joining us here tonight. We were excited to come to Toronto, and you guys have not disappointed. It's an amazing turnout. We're glad to be here. Very shortly, you're going to hear from the two biggest stars in combat sports. Boxing legend, pound for pound #1, pay-per-view king Floyd Mayweather, and the only two-division world champion in the UFC, worldwide superstar Conor McGregor. It's no exaggeration to say this is an unprecedented event, once-in-a-lifetime matchup between two of the biggest stars and the biggest personalities in all of sports. We're bringing this fight to you fans in unprecedented ways. We're thrilled to be here. With that, I'm going to introduce our two stars. Very shortly, again, you'll hear from them. Floyd Mayweather. He turned pro in 1996, 49-0, undefeated, 24 world champions, 24-0, 5 different weight classes, the highest paid athlete in the world 3 separate times. Over his career, he's generated 20 million pay-per-view buys, $1.3 billion in revenues, and your fan favorite, Conor McGregor, who says he is the future of combat sports. On August 26th, we will find out. It will be a sporting event unlike any that we've seen. Do not miss it. Thank you.
All right, Toronto! Next to the podium, the man is an innovator. He put the UFC on the map. Instrumental in the meteoric rise and fame of Conor McGregor. contributed to making this historic event happen. He is the president, El Jefe of the UFC, Dana White.
Thank you. What's up, Toronto? How are you today? So when we were putting this deal together, I told these guys, you don't do a world tour without stopping in Canada, baby. And as usual, you never fail to deliver, you guys. We love you very much. All right, let's get the show started. The reigning, defending, 155-pound champion of the UFC, the notorious Conor McGregor.
Does this mic work? Well then, fuck that mic. On the count of 3, I want everyone in this arena to scream at the top of your lungs, fuck the Mayweathers. 1, 2, 3. No, 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 no. We can do better than that. When I count to 3, I want this entire arena to scream, fuck the Mayweathers. 1, 2, 3, fuck the Mayweathers. He won't do shit. Do fucking nothing. And while we're at it, fuck Showtime too. You little weasel. Look at you, you little fucking weasel. I can see it in your eyes. You're a fucking bitch. The champ's mic off? Hell no. You fucking weasel and you fucking bitch. They're trying to set me up at every turn out here. They're trying to catch me off guard. Trying to see me in an uncomfortable position. But I thrive in uncomfortable positions. There is nothing these can do to faze me. 28 years of age. I'm getting fight checks and promoter checks. When Floyd was 28, he was on Oscar De La Hoya's undercard. And that's just facts. What's up, Toronto? What's up, Ireland? Floyd is an old, weak bitch. Sing it to me. I want you to sing it to me, and I want you to dance for me. You sing it, you dance. Dance for me, boy. I'm not fucking leaving. $50 strippers on his payroll this man has. What the fuck is he doing with that strip club? What the fuck? 50 stripper bitches on his payroll. Shout out to all the stripper bitches on his payroll. At least Rob Kardashian only had one. He has 50. I'm not getting off this mic. I want him to come and take this mic off me. Otherwise, I'm taking over this whole shit. It's right here. It's right here. Stop me. You won't do shit. Toronto. Toronto, what a fucking city. What a city. What a city. I was here I was here one time, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I was also on a world tour. I was also facing an unconquerable quest. I was facing the then pound for pound #1 fighter on the planet, Jose Aldo. They said the same things then as they're saying now. They said I had no chance. They said I'm in over my head. They said he kicks too hard. Too many weapons. The Irishman's gonna fall short. He doesn't stand a hope. It took me 13 seconds. I just want to speak to all the boxing pussies, all the little pundit pussies, supposed experts. You're fucking crazy if you think this man stands a chance. His head is too small. One shot is all it takes me. Check the facts. I bounce shots off there. I bounce heads off the canvas and dribble that shit. He tip-tap-toes to a decision. He's never even fought a day in his life. He's a runner. He's boxing's biggest bitch. Shout out Drizzy Drake. Started from the bottom, now I'm here. Life is so fucking good. How do I look? What the fuck is he wearing? He looks like a little breakdancer or something, a little 12-year-old breakdancer, bitch. What the fuck? He's 40. You're 40 years of age. Dress your fucking age. Carrying a school bag on stage. What are you doing with a school bag on stage? You can't even read. 40 years old carrying a school bag. The man doesn't even fucking read. Toronto, I love you all. Thank you all so much. It's an honor for me to come here. It's a fucking honor. I love each and every one of you. Showtime executives, just know no matter what situation you put me in, I always come out on top. Whoop-a. Let's go, man.
Yo, Toronto, I'm telling you, this fight's gonna be something. Coming to the stage, he's the longtime advisor of Floyd Money Mayweather, Chief Executive Officer of Mayweather Promotions. Yo, the brother can dress, I gotta give him that. Leonard Ellamy!
At this time, the record speaks for itself. He's the best to ever do it. Toronto, yes, none other than former 12-time world champion in 5 different weight classes. The highest paid athlete ever. TBE. The man who's going to kick his ass. Let's give it up, Toronto, for none other than Floyd Money Mayweather!
such a cheap ass shit. Two sugars. Two sugars, bitch.
Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. One thing we do know. One thing we do know. One thing we do know. The fucking fans can't fight for you.
Shut your fucking mouth.
We're not talking about being at the top 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Motherfucker, 21 years. Yeah. And they said, I'm the motherfucker that can't read. Bitch, I do numbers. I make money. You know my middle name, bitch.
You owe money.
I do? P-Dot, let me see the bag. Yeah, he was right. Yeah. The bag got books, and we're gonna show you what the books look like. If you believe in yourself, like you say you believe in yourself, bitch your whole fight check, you bitch.
No fucking problem. Send the contract, kid. It's done.
Let me see what it look like. P-Dot, grab me one. Let me see what it look like. See if this bitch wanna bet this.
Do what you're told, bitch. Do what you're told, bitch.
You know. You know.
I'd hate that bud.
You know, I like you. You know.
You love me.
You fucking Egypt. You fucking Egypt. That's the fuck you are. You punk. This your boss, you little bitch.
Good one.
And y'all got the fucking nerves to believe in a fucking fighter that like to fucking quit? This a fucking quitter. Turn the pressure up. I don't quit. I don't fold under pressure. I'm the best, and I know I'm the best. Bitch, and you know I'm the best. Don't y'all ever tell me shit about a fucking $3 million fighter.
Not no more.
Yeah, we just getting heated up. Dana, I can never disrespect you. I've known you for 21 years. You've done a hell of a job with this company. And I want to continue to watch you grow. I want to watch you continue to build the UFC, because it's all about combat sports. You've done a hell of a job. No matter what I said about you in the past, as a man, I look in your face and apologize and tell you I'm sorry, but you've done a hell of a job with this company. Showtime! August 26th, it's showtime! Yeah! Yeah! We heating up now, baby! Yeah! They all said I was too small. They say I run like a bitch. But goddamn it, 49-0. Yeah, motherfucker, I'm running into the motherfucking bank. Oh, and I love what I got on. I'm wearing that Toronto flag. I look good in that Toronto gear. Yeah, I feel good. I'm 40, but I look 20.
And you act 10.
Yeah. Hey, he told me, hey, you see, I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna go there in the last press conference. I ain't gonna go there right now when we talk about females. Cause we already know. We already know this bitch right here, he like to quit. What the fuck is that? The fuck is that? Talking about how tough you is. Talking about you got pride in you. Talking about you are killers. Real killers don't quit. Real killers don't quit.
You don't even know nothing about true fighting. You've never been in there. You're against little boxers afraid. You're against a different animal here, Floyd.
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
Shut your mouth.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut your mouth. They want you off this stage,
You
boy.
had your turn.
You're balancing yourself up there. You do something with that flag, I'll fuck you up. There's about a... That's it? That's it? There's about $5,000 in here. There's about $5,000 in here. Fuck me. Just now you do something with that flag, you ain't getting this bag or this money back, and I'm gonna fuck you up on this stage.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this souvenir. You want me to keep this souvenir? Can I keep this souvenir? I like him. I like him. Canada! Hard work! Hard work! Hard work! Yeah! Dana White!
Square up, we're sick of hearing from
Dana
you.
White! You the boss! Dana White! You fly! Dana White! Me and you got money! We know who got the money! We don't gotta wear suits! The real men that got money don't gotta wear suits!
Yeah, but what about Ellaby? Will you feed that motherfucker?
Toronto, I love you guys. I'm out.
Well, Toronto, are you ready? Dana, you ready? Sam, you ready? You ready to face off? Hey, you got the world watching. McGregor, Mayweather, face off.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you see August 26th live on Showtime pay-per-view. Floyd Money Mayweather and the notorious Conor McGregor live on Showtime pay-per-view. Toronto, the second stop of the Mayweather-McGregor World Tour. It is Mayweather-McGregor live on Showtime pay-per-view from Las Vegas, August 26th.
Well, there you have it. The second stop of this Mayweather-McGregor press tour. Let me tell you something. And you know what? You said Conor McGregor was going to come out of the box smoking. He came out of the box smoking.
That's a 10-8 round for my boy. I mean, he hit that out the park.
Yo.
When he got out Showtime, and he was just ready to go.
I was like, yo, why's he mad at us for?
And what'd I do?
I
thought I was trying to hype the crowd up.
Me too, man. I thought we were all the same team.
Yeah.
However, he was fired up. They made him wait for Floyd.
Yeah.
And one thing you know about Conor McGregor, he usually runs the show. He makes guys wait for him. So when they made him wait, he came out here firing. He knew the format, and boy, did he deliver.
Does that mean tomorrow he's going to show up even later than Floyd, and now we're gonna be waiting all night?
Yeah.
I hope not.
Who knows, man? Who knows?
They got flights to London to catch, no?
Right.
Oh, Floyd takes a private jet, though. He can fly whenever he wants.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what, though. Floyd brought the pain, too.
Yeah, he did.
Floyd really.
Yo, you know what got me, man? When Floyd took the flag and then Conor took his bag.
Oh, man. I thought he was going to take the money and throw it out to the crowd.
I was like, please don't throw the money. I was nervous.
Gosh.
I was like, please don't throw the money in the crowd.
Yeah.
I was nervous for him.
Yeah. Floyd Money Mayweather, by the way, is going to come over and he's going to join us. We'll talk a little bit and get his thoughts on what he thought the second stop here. Let me tell you something. The crowd in L.A., great. And played well on television, but I don't think it pales in comparison to what we saw out here.
This is a zoo.
What is going on here? I went over to Conor's team as he was doing this. I went, how insane is this? Have you ever seen anything like this? And John Kavanaugh was like, this is nuts. Even they didn't expect this.
Yeah.
This is crazy. This crowd, I mean, Floyd could barely get a word out.
Yeah.
They were just nonstop with the chants, the Ireland chants. It was amazing.
You know, it's funny because Conor McGregor was supposed to join us as soon as they faced off. He was going to come over and be the first guest to join us. He walked out. He walked out with his team and stormed out. And as he stormed out, he said, "I kicked his ass today." So you could tell he came in guns a-blazing for this one.
He came out and went, "Oh, you don't think I know how to promote a fight?
Right.
You want me to promote a fight?" And he said, "This is promoting a fight." And boy, did he carry that torch and run with it. And this is the Conor McGregor that I expected in Toronto. And it's going to get better.
And credit to Toronto, too, for showing up, man.
Yeah.
Toronto showed up today,
They
man.
showed up in the big way.
You know, everyone showed up. You can't write this stuff. Like, yesterday, Conor, it's not that he didn't show up, but he didn't know really the platform. He didn't know the structure of it. It was a good one. But today, everyone showed up. The fans, you guys, the A-team here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Conor definitely showed up. But Floyd showed up, too. You need two to tango. And Floyd really brought it today, I thought.
Hey, he took it to a new level, like you said, when he pulled out that Ireland flag out there. I was like, oh, boy, here we go.
How about when he came up to Dana and said, "We have money.
Yeah,
we don't wear suits. Guys who don't have money wear suits." That was a great comeback, though. It's a great comeback.
But the best line was, he said, "Yeah, we have money. We're not a $3 million fighter." And then Conor McGregor said, "Not anymore."
Oh, how about when Floyd goes, "You're so confident you're going to win, put your paycheck up on it."
Yeah.
Right? Sign it right now. Sign the contract right now. And Conor goes, "Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it."
Yeah.
That's how much these guys believe in each other.
This was really something, folks. And I'll tell you, the atmosphere was great. The tension too palpable too between the two, and you could tell, boy. The one thing I love about Conor McGregor that you can always bank on is some aggressive gum chewing.
Yeah.
No one chews gum better.
And then he spit it right on the stage.
And he
What about
spit
when he
on
spit
the
right on the stage?
How about that? And he spit on the stage.
Listen, and you can tell it's getting a little personal for both of them.
absolutely.
Getting more and more
Both of
personal
them,
every
yeah, you
conference.
can
They
tell.
raise it up. They raise the
Absolutely.
game.
They realize
look,
the magnitude.
You want to talk about getting personal? How about here he is?
There he is.
Floyd Money Mayweather.
Hey, I'm a little hoarse.
I know you are.
I'm sorry. How you guys doing?
Hey,
Great, man.
let me ask you this. It seemed like the first stop in L.A., I thought if we were judging the fight on press conferences, you won round one.
We gave you 10-9, round one.
It seemed like Conor McGregor said, "Okay, I got to come out guns a-blazing for round two." What were your thoughts?
It's entertaining, we giving the fans and the people what they want to see and what they want to hear. I'm a little hoarse because shouting loud, screaming loud, a lot of trash talking, but we giving the people what they want to see and what they want to hear.
Floyd, you think this is going to be the new way to promote boxing? You think this is almost innovative, man? People in boxing aren't used to this. In the UFC, MMA, and wrestling, you see this kind of loud kind of promotion. It's kind of in your face type of stuff.
Well,
you're bringing it to boxing. You think this is going to be the new way to promote, the modern way to promote boxing as well?
But Paulie, I was doing this over 20-something years ago, and you've been in the fight game a long time yourself. We used to trash talk, extremely loud. Muhammad Ali and the fighters from the past that paved the way for me to be where I'm at used to be trash talkers also. In my boxing gym, in my home, we always trash talk.
To this magnitude, though, like when you heard about this fight, I know you knew it was going to be big. Did you expect it to be this big?
Well, they said it's projected to be bigger than the Pacquiao fight.
I promise you it's bigger than your Pacquiao fight.
And I'm just happy that, the two biggest names in combat sports is able to come together. With me being off for 2 years, me being retired for 2 years, and me to still be relevant in the sport of boxing and be relevant in the MMA is amazing. So I have to take my hat off to the MMA fans also for just, supporting this event. I want to thank the boxing fans and just a regular casual fan that's not even a boxing fan or MMA fan that's supporting this event.
I feel like Conor McGregor's bringing the best out of you. We're seeing vintage Floyd Mayweather.
Yes.
I'll be honest.
You've been pretty
honest.
tame. You were tame for Pacquiao. You had much respect. Berto, you weren't very vocal.
I'll be honest, Floyd.
A fight like the Pacquiao Mayweather, that's already going to sell itself.
Right.
That was already going to sell itself because that fight was sold 5 years before it happened.
Right.
To whereas with the Berto, that was just a farewell. Yesterday I had on a hat that said 48 because in my 48th fight, that was my biggest fight. First 48, that's what we like to call that hat.
Mm-hmm.
And the shirts I wear sometimes, I have the shirt that says 48 and I wear the hat that says 48 because that was a $300 million fight, where I made $300 million.
I think I can top it in this fight.
We thought you were going to come out with a 50 on. I was curious why at least it wasn't 49 or 50. I thought you'd do the cocky thing, come out with 50.
Oh, no, not yet.
Let's
not
get the
yet.
50 rolling if you guys are so
no,
sure.
Eventually, but we just take our time. We don't want to move fast. We'll take our time. When it happens, it happens.
I feel like Conor's bringing a side out in you where we've seen it before, but not like this. Like what you did out there, and I told these guys, I went, listen, and I'm the MMA guy here. I'm a Conor fan.
Yes.
And I went, Conor's gonna go undefeated in this press conference. After yesterday, I looked at Paulie, and Mara was sitting where Brian is. I went, damn, Floyd won that one, 10-9. I said, what's gonna happen? I said, I guarantee you, Conor's gonna come in and bring the heat tonight. Let's see how Floyd reacts to it. And you brought it again, man.
That's what I do.
Is he making you younger, Floyd? Like when the fighter gets older, I know I realize this in my own career.
Yeah.
You kind of put the trash talk to the back. You become more business-like. But then sometimes you get a younger fighter that comes in your face and almost brings that enthusiasm back. For me, it was Adrian Broner. When I fought Broner, he brought that youthful trash talking back for me. For you, did you feel that? Does it make me feel like your younger days, like where you gotta supersede the trash talk and feel young again?
But I want to say something to you, Paulie, first. Before we talk about that, I want to say congratulations to you. I'm glad that he's on Showtime and other networks promoting boxing because we need guys that know about the sport. And I think you do a marvelous job. I seen you doing the MMA. You do a great job.
Thanks, brother.
I caught some highlights of the MMA before,
thanks,
and I caught you commentating because you guys give guys a fair chance. Where a lot of times we're in boxing, not so much in MMA, we're in boxing, we hurt the sport because we're talking so negative about the things when sometimes it's best not said. But you do a hell of a job. You know about the sport.
I just try to break down tactics.
You know about the sport, and also you was a hell of a fighter. Congratulations, because when I first seen you fight, I knew from the gate that you was a hell of a boxer, and you had hell of a boxing skills. And I wanted to say thank you for even going to help McGregor out.
Yeah, but I'm saying, are you mad if McGregor said, look, I want him as a sparring guy?
It's business, and I understand business.
The way I looked at it was
wait, go ahead. You don't have to explain nothing to me.
Thanks,
you here to do a job.
Thanks, Trent.
And whatever I do.
He was talking shit yesterday.
Yeah.
About me.
Yeah, and I know. And whatever I do is a job that I do. If someone come and is boxing me and sparring me, I may not know that they're getting ready for Paulie. I'm just doing my job, but he's just doing his job at the end of the day. But what you're saying, is he bringing a youth and a youngness? I mean, is he bringing the young Mayweather back?
Excitement,
This is exciting.
It is.
Hey, right? That's what I feel.
He said he's going to stop you within 4 rounds. Honestly, let me ask you this. Is there anything that Conor McGregor does that you've seen that you said, you know what, I need to watch out for that?
I can't really say,
That's a no.
I'm just saying, I've been around the sport a long time. I have a lot of experience.
Yeah, but not with a guy like Conor McGregor, the way he moves. Are you bringing anyone in to kind of mimic his movement? Have you brought any MMA guys in, or are you just keeping it all boxing, doing what you do?
We brought a guy we have a guy from Costa Rica with a real awkward style. I have
Southpaw.
I have some solid guys that I'm working with, and I can feel an age on me. Of course, do I feel 40? Absolutely. Well, in boxing years, I'm probably older than 40.
well, let's wrap it up with this. I know you got to go. When you thought about this fight, and I know you've thought about it here now that it's come to fruition, how do you see this fight ending?
I think from out the gate, from the first round, it's going to kind of be a chess match, us filling each other out. But if it's not a chess match, we're going to get it on from the beginning, whatever he want to do.
With him saying he's going to stop you in 4 rounds, do you think he feels like that's his only way to go? Like in the Nate Diaz fight, he came out guns flying. Once he threw all the guns out, he had nothing left in the second round. Do you think he's looking at it this way, where if I don't get Floyd out in the first 4 rounds, I'm in trouble? So let me predict a 4th round KO because I'm going to shoot all the guns in the first 4 rounds?
Anything can happen. I mean, in contact sports, period. He's a warrior. I'm a warrior. And if no one has ever noticed, throughout my career, in the beginning of my career, I was a huge knockout artist.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, I was in so many just hard, the banging of the fist, and working in the gym extremely hard. My body broke down.
Also moving up in weight, Floyd.
Yes, but my last hurrah was probably the Schaub Mitchell or the Arturo Gatti fight. After that, my body was no good. So for me to still be able to compete and beat the top level guys and still have a sharp mind, I think it's remarkable. because of this. Everyone says all Floyd do is run, or Floyd don't hit hard. If that's the case, nobody's walking through me. I'm waiting to see if anybody can walk through me. They say, you know, Pacquiao, of course, he's a heavy hitter. Canelo's a heavy hitter. De La Hoya's a heavy hitter. And we can keep Marcos Maidana, Cotto, all these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, he fought Cotto, I fought Cotto.
Yeah.
Motherfucker's a heavy hitter, and he's strong as fuck. He know it.
Do you feel any pressure, Floyd? You feel any pressure going into this? Because most of the boxing experts say, this is easy work for Floyd. This is too easy for him to get 50.
Well, you have to say, I mean, we're just going to be honest. With me taking years off, and he's still active, and he's younger, he's taller, he has a longer reach. He has a 74. I have a 72. But, I mean, everything is leaning really towards Conor McGregor. But, you know, only thing I can do is do what I do best.
Do you think about that, Floyd? Do you think about all-time greats that have taken long layoffs, come back and shown to the point where they got beat? Ali came back with Berbick. Ali's all-time great. Leonard came back with Camacho, all-time great. They came back a little too late. Do you think about that? Does that cross your mind at all?
I mean, we'll just see. You know, I be in the gym working, you know, day to day, and I didn't fought some.
Those guys were all-time greats, just like you're an all-time great.
Yes.
Does it cross your mind?
I mean, I just say anything can happen.
I feel like you're taking a bigger risk, to be honest, because this is the unknown. Like if you're fighting another boxer, that's easy. Floyd walks through this guy, but I tip my hat to you because to get to 50, you're not going the easy way about it. I think everyone goes, this is. I disagree, man. It's a huge risk for you.
I think that my thing is really just I just want to break my record.
Yeah.
I really want to just break my record.
Does any of this ever get to you? The crowds when they go crazy pro McGregor and they boo you. You're like, hey,
but it's obvious I'm doing something right thus far. I mean, throughout my career because.
Well, Floyd, this don't get to you, man. This is what you miss, man. This is what fighters miss.
I don't really miss this.
You don't miss it?
No. It was just that, you know, I was in a position. I seen an opportunity. I was checking to see if the UFC or Conor McGregor will bite on it, and they bid on it. And now we in a.
Here we go.
We're in a march.
Here we are.
I like to call this a $1 billion fight.
Yeah. What do you think in Brooklyn? What do you think we're gonna get in New York City?
We're going to get some more.
Some more of this?
Some more
I
excitement.
saw you got something planned for the last press conference. You said you're going to save something for London.
What you got for us?
Talk about girls. You said, I'll save it.
So you have a game plan for every specific press conference?
I don't really have no game plan. I'm a counter punch. I let him do it. I let him do it. I let him do his thing. I let him do his thing. I had to come back. You know, I had to counter punch.
I got you.
But you got to realize I'm not fazed by this. I'm not fazed by the fans because you must understand the fans cannot fight for you.
That's what you said at the press round. Yeah.
When it comes down to the two competitors, it comes down to the two fighters.
Yeah.
I've been here so many times, and one thing about me, I've been hit by some of the best, and all I did was bite down and say, okay, it's okay. I got hit by Shane Mosley, you know, went right back to the corner. He said, what's going on? I said, everything okay? I said, I'll be a different fighter when I go back out there. I lock in, I key in, I said, okay, here we go. Let's switch up the game plan now. Let's do what we have to do.
That's nice. Money Mayweather. Hey, brother, appreciate the time, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
hey,
thanks, man.
All right,
we'll see you in Brooklyn.
All right.
See you in Brooklyn tomorrow. All right?
All right, appreciate it.
That's Money Mayweather here as the second stop of this press tour wraps up here in Toronto. What a night.
What a night is
What
right.
a night. How do we top that in New York? Well, it got to be in New York City, man. You got to top it.
We were wondering the same thing yesterday, and it topped it today.
These guys keep topping it.
You got to top it in New York City, man.
They make our job easy, man.
You know what I mean? It's the Big Apple.
We got
Every day you guys are digging a little more and digging a little more.
We got New York, we got London, and everybody's saying, "Oh, hopefully you guys don't fight." Listen, we can't mess up this.
There's too much money.
No.
Come close, but no.
We can't do it.
You can't do it. Appreciate it, Floyd. So that's going to do it here for this one. Well, what a night here in Toronto. Again, August 26th is when it goes down.
Yes.
The money fight, as Floyd likes to call it here at the T-Mobile Arena in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. You can see it live on Showtime pay-per-view. For Paulie Malignaggi, Brendan Schaub, Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor, I'm Brian Custer. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in Brooklyn.
When things go wrong, I try to make them right.
Never give in, never yield.
You're gonna love this. You ever been surprised before?
Body Shot. Start your free trial now.